Sound, rain falling, tires on wet pavement, thunder rumbling softly in the distance. Narrator, calm tone. Hidden deep in the mountains near Kyoto, Japan. There's a narrow road that locals refuse to drive at night. It's silent, cold, and covered with fog. At the end of that road lies the Kiyotaki Tunnel, only about 444 meters long, but long enough to change your life forever if you pass through it after midnight. They say it's cursed. Sound, whispers, faint footsteps echoing in tunnel. The story goes back to the early 1920s when Japan was rapidly expanding its rail and road systems. The Kiyotaki Tunnel was built by hundreds of laborers, most of them poor, overworked, and unpaid. Conditions were brutal. Many died inside during construction, from exhaustion, accidents, and in some cases murder. When the project finally finished, the government refused to acknowledge the deaths. Their bodies were sealed inside the tunnel walls. That's when the strange things began to happen. Workers started hearing screams echo through the tunnel at night. Equipment would move on its own. One man said he saw a woman in a white kimono staring at him, her face pale, eyes hollow. The next day, he disappeared. Sound, modern car engine, rain, faint Japanese radio static. Today, the Kiyotaki Tunnel is still open to the public, but locals refuse to use it after sunset. There are countless reports from drivers who claim they saw something or someone inside. One night in 2003, a taxi driver was returning to Kyoto after dropping off a passenger. As he entered the tunnel, his radio began to crackle, then die completely. His headlights flickered. Halfway through, he saw a woman standing on the side of the road. She wore a white dress, her long black hair hanging over her face. He slowed down, thinking she was in trouble, but as his car came closer, the woman vanished into thin air. When he looked in his rear-view mirror, she was sitting in his back seat. Sound, car screeching, tires skid, heartbeat thumps. The car crashed at the tunnel's exit. The driver survived, but he was found unconscious. His hair turned completely white. Soft hum of wind, eerie chime sounds. The Kiyotaki Tunnel's length, 444 meters, has terrified locals for decades. In Japanese, the number 4 is pronounced shi, which also means death. 444 can mean death, death, death. Some say that's no coincidence. The number itself carries a curse. If you drive through and your car stops in the middle, they say you'll see your own reflection in the glass, but the reflection will move differently from you. If that ever happens, you must not stare at it, or you'll never leave the tunnel alive. Static buzz, old camera sound, wind howling. In 2011, 2 college students decided to explore the tunnel for a school project about local myths. They filmed the entire trip on a handheld camera. At first, nothing happened. But when they reviewed the footage later, they noticed something chilling. At 8 minutes and 13 seconds, as the camera pans across the dark walls, a white figure appears behind them, just for a second, standing still. It wasn't visible to the eye, only in the recording. Both students posted the video online. A week later, one of them reportedly took his own life. The other vanished completely. Static sound cuts to silence. Sound. Wind blowing through forest, cicadas, faint whispering. Local folklore says that near the tunnel entrance, there's a mirror built into the rock wall. If you look at your reflection after midnight, it won't blink when you do. Instead, it will smile, slowly, and then disappear. Some drivers who saw it said they were haunted for days afterward. They claimed to see the woman in white standing outside their houses, always staring, never moving. calm ambient drone, voice echoes slightly. Authorities have dismissed all of these stories as rumors. They say the tunnel is just old, dark, and psychologically unsettling. But then again, they never drive through it after dark either. In 2016, a small group of paranormal investigators entered the tunnel at night. Their equipment recorded unexplained cold spots, and a voice on the recorder whispering in Japanese, "Keishite," which means, "Give it back." Echoing whisper, "Keishite." Low rumbling sound, deep reverb, faint screams in distance. Years later, workers renovating part of the hillside next to the tunnel discovered human bones buried beneath the surface. No one knows how many, no names, no records. They sealed the site again, and the haunting continues. Sound, car door closes, engine revs, wind in trees. So if you ever find yourself near Kyoto and you see a narrow road leading up into the foggy hills, think twice before driving through. Because sometimes the past doesn't stay buried. And some tunnels are more than just roads. Sound fades out with wind and faint female laughter echoing.